Sellers, listen up. There's a growing concern, something happening more and more, it seems, where Printify just takes money or keeps it under, well, let's say false pretenses. Today, our deep dive is looking right into this. We're unpacking a really troubling trend reported by online entrepreneurs focusing on this platform, Printify.
That's right. We'll be looking at a specific case, seller named Samuel Oduro, but also combining his story with reports from others who've had, frankly, very similar experiences. The goal here is to understand how funds can get trapped like this unexpectedly and what that means for small businesses.
Okay, let's unpack this. We want to shine a light on this pattern and figuring what it means for entrepreneurs like you listening. So let's start with Samuel Oduro. He's an immigrant from Ghana, living over in Dallas, Texas now. He built this really cool print-on-demand brand, Heritage Threads. It's all rooted in West African patterns, really vibrant stuff. And he chose Printify to get it going.
Right, a popular choice. And what's interesting here is how he funded it initially. Samuel, like a lot of international entrepreneurs actually, used a Payoneer account. He topped up his Printify balance with $100, just as starting him out, intending to cover his first few test orders. Simple enough, right?
Yeah, seems totally standard. But here's where it gets, well, tricky. His first orders didn't work out. They fell through for some reason. And when he tried to withdraw that initial $100 back to Payoneer, nothing. Crickets.
And the response he got from Printify support was pretty blunt, basically. Payoneer top-ups cannot be withdrawn. You have to spend your balance through Printify.
Wow. So no warning beforehand, like when he put the money in.
Exactly. That's the key issue here. No alert, no pop-up, no obvious disclaimer saying, hey, money deposited this way is one way only. Nothing like that.
So Samuel felt like his $100 was just locked.
Completely locked. And when he pushed back, asked for the refund to Payoneer again, they just closed his support ticket. No real discussion.
He actually called it theft.
You can understand the frustration. Right. From his perspective, he put money in, didn't use the service for those orders, and couldn't get it back out.
And it turns out Samuel wasn't some isolated case. He started looking around.
Yeah. He found dozens of similar stories. Reddit, Trustpilot, other support forums, people saying basically the same thing.
Often international sellers, too.
That seems to be a common thread, yes. Yeah. Money deposited, often maybe small amounts to start. Then issues arise, withdrawal requests denied, tickets closed, always citing policy.
So what is this policy then? Is it clear somewhere?
Well, that's part of the problem. It might be buried in the terms somewhere, but certainly wasn't made obvious at the point of deposit, especially for Payoneer top-ups, it seems. It catches people completely off guard.
Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, there's another layer here, right? The jurisdiction.
Absolutely. This is critical. Printify is based in Latvia. It's a European company, not a U.S. one. Meaning there's no straightforward U.S. financial agency or small business protection body or domestic regulator you can easily turn to. For someone like Samuel in Dallas or others internationally, it leaves them with very little recourse.
Right. Who do you even complain to effectively?
Exactly. It's a huge challenge, like Samuel said, and it's pretty stark. If you take my money and won't give it back, that's not business. That's a scam.
So, okay, let's bring this back to the listener. What does this all mean for you, especially if you're running a business, maybe based here in the U.S.? You've got this company operating overseas, seemingly dodging accountability in some ways, and trapping funds for small business owners everywhere from Dallas to Ghana.
It highlights a real risk in the global digital marketplace. You need to be aware of where companies are based and what that means for regulation and your protections.
Some sources we looked at even suggested people contact their representatives or the Attorney General's office. There seems to be some awareness at higher levels about foreign companies potentially harming U.S. businesses.
Right. The core takeaway here is, look, Printify might say they empower creators, and maybe they do in many ways. But there's this concerning pattern, specifically around funds being withheld, seemingly without clear upfront warning, when sellers want to withdraw deposits, particularly those made via certain methods like Payoneer.
It really leaves us with a bit of a provocative thought, doesn't it? In this global digital world we're all operating in, how do you truly protect your initial investments? Especially when platforms operate across borders, across different regulatory lines. How much checking is enough? Something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. If you found this insightful, and we hope you did, please subscribe to the deep dive for more explorations into these kinds of complex topics.